Randall Hughes with God Glorified, and we are commenting on August the 3rd's Bible reading, which was from about 2 Kings 19 and 2 Chronicles 32 and Isaiah 37, and then we threw in a couple of Psalms, Psalm 75 and Psalm 76, and also a little bit from Isaiah 39. And so, in 2 Kings 20. And so this concludes the life of Hezekiah, probably the second or third greatest king in Israel's history, behind David and possibly Solomon, depending on how you view it. Hezekiah kept his integrity, and there may be a Josiah or somebody that you might throw in there as well. Hezekiah, one of the things, and my pastor just recently had preached a message which he took his text from the end of this, and I guess maybe we want to work our way through it just a little bit, and I'll get there. So Hezekiah did the right thing when he had the problem, had the letters, he put it before the Lord, sought God, God brought deliverance, and Isaiah came to share with him today the word that Sennacherib's army would be taken away, and then a tremendous miracle. I don't even know, 185,000 men were killed by an angel, and Sennacherib went home, and an arrow was never shot. And then he was killed while he was worshiping in one of the houses of his gods in his homeland. And so God took care of Isaiah and Hezekiah. And then today, God spoke through Isaiah to Hezekiah, and let him know the deliverance that was going to take place. Didn't tell all about the angels, but did tell him that they would be a deliverance and that he would not fire a shot. And so that took place. And then we see Hezekiah prospers. The Babylonians come and look, and he showed them everything. And Isaiah said, I don't know what would have happened if he would not have showed everything, because he did. And notice there's a unique passage there in 2 Chronicles 32, verse 31. We often talk about the verses at the end of Matthew or where Jesus says, "Lo, I'm with you always, even to the end of the world," or "I'll never leave you or forsake you." I believe it's Hebrews chapter 13, about verse 7, 6, 5, 7, right along in there, about he's with us, never leaving us. And yet here says God left him to know his heart. And it was because of the pride of his heart that he showed everything. He could have refrained. And it's difficult to know. Once again, we judge him as one of the great kings of Israel. And so it's difficult to know what would have happened differently for the future. It's impossible to know. But you wonder, what if he would not have showed everything? What if he would have been more humble in that instance? Would God have spared? And yet, after God added the 15 years on his life, it was during this time that Hezekiah's son was born. Manasseh is what many feel, because notice the word was the sons that will be born, that come from your loins, that shall be born. Many feel he did not have any children at the time that prophecy went forth, the time that he was healed. At any rate, he said they're going to be eunuchs. And he said, "Is it not good if there's peace and truth in my day?" And so it's unlike David, who was praying and preparing for the next generation, the next king, and the throne and the temple to build. Here it seems that Hezekiah. And so I don't know. What I do know, and I struggle, and in Hezekiah's defense, you know what? I prayed. I fasted for my boys. And I absolutely believe God is going to use them in mighty ways to bless his kingdom. And that's what I desire. But I can't make that happen other than the preparation that I can to try to direct and to guide and to train. And there's times they don't always make the decision I would make. Now, that doesn't mean they're lost. It just means that they're not me. And sometimes they may not, whether it's always that my way is the best way, God's way is the best way. And he knows what needs to happen to put them in the place to fulfill his will. And so there may be an element here in Hezekiah that he's going, I know I'm going to train. I'm going to do my best to put in them the foundation they need to be everything. And whatever judgment God brings and however reason that comes to pass, am I in control of that? It's obvious that because of the righteousness of David, what oftentimes it's in the book of Isaiah, and we read it just a few days ago, I believe, the sheer mercies of David, that God showed David mercy because of David's heart. And so God put a heart in us to love you in such a way that our future generations, you would say, you know what? I'm defending Jerusalem because that's the city I placed my name in because of my servant, David. Would to God in the future in my family, if God should tarry, that there would be times that he would say, I want to bless these boys because of their dad. Help me to live in such a way, God. Help us to live in such a way that future generations, if God tarries, would be blessed because of the way we lived our lives. And so that's the challenge today to you and to me. God, help us. Help us, Lord. We want all the families of the earth to be blessed. What if we could have the promise like Abraham that in your seed, and of course we know that's through Jesus Christ, but somehow, God, help my family, help my actions, help my heart toward you to be such that you can bless, and that there would be multitudes blessed because of it. I don't want to put a limit on what God can do through me, and I certainly don't want to limit it because of my stupidity or foolish choices. Help me, God. I've got to have you. I can't do it by myself. And so if he steps back, like he did here with Hezekiah, would to God that I would still respond in the right manner, and I would still be pleasing in his sight. Help us, Jesus. Some amazing words, some amazing truth, and we want to learn from others so that we can not have to make the same mistakes that they made. God bless you. I hope you have a great day in Jesus. Bless you.